we go. Okay, guys, we're here at Nebula Recording Studio. We're here with Crime, and we got Pooh. These are some of our old school rappers we got here. Looking to see how long they've been in the game and how things are going for them now. First of all, we were just asking you about how long y'all been in the music industry, writing, rapping, doing all of that. About how many years?
Man, it's been a long time. I started when I was like, 16?
Yeah, I started writing when I was like 13, recording when I was 18.
So good over 10 years or so, 10, 12 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And especially to keep up with it and keep doing what you're doing. Okay, now since you've been in the music business for well over 10 to 12 years, what would you say were some of your influences to wanting to start being in the music industry?
Well, it started when my brother, he came home that he really rapped, right? And me and my brother were competitive. So I was like, you ain't going to outdo me, so I started rapping too. So that's how I got started. Me and him just started rapping. Then we met my homeboy Hinato. Well, I've known him forever, but he took us to his cousin's studio, and cause his cousin heard we rap, and he wanted to hear what we got, and so we made a couple of songs over there, and it was just a shed. Like, it was a shed. He had like a couple music equipment in there and all that. But after he heard us, he was like, I'm gonna make a studio. So we made Lockdown Records, and just went on from there. And moved to a bigger building. Got a couple of my friends involved, like Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian was really
Yeah, Dorian. Mario. Yeah. Angel. Yeah.
And finally I came in the picture.
Yeah. Then Pooh came in the picture. And
Ray.
Yeah, Ray.
Oh, Slim, can't forget about Slim.
Oh yeah, Slim too.
Slim, we had a team.
Yeah, we had a couple of good artists too. We then moved to another bigger building where we made hits. So, Pooh.
Mine, I started though, like, the first time I really started rapping when I was locked up as a juvenile. Like, I was just getting in trouble. I caught my first felony case when I was 11 in Florida. So, like, being locked up, I didn't have nothing else to do, and I started writing poems. And then someone was like, well, maybe you should rap, and I would freestyle a little bit. And then, I don't know, I got good at what I was doing, and then I told myself, I was like, when I get out, that's what I'm gonna do, in life. I'm gonna pursue music. I mean, I loved it all my life anyways. So I decided when I got out to make music, and that's really what I did. It kind of kept me out of trouble for a little bit. I mean, I've had a couple run-ins, but really I got lucky. My first song was just like kind of out there. I wrote an anthem for my city, and then it just went straight to the radio station. So I got a little bit of a big head. But then I really just like stepped away for a minute, and then I came into lockdown, and that's when I really started making music again. And came across Chris and all them.
And then from there, it just...
Like, I'm from Midland, like, I came here and I didn't know nobody, and once I met them, like, I gotta give him and his brother, they know the whole city, like, these dudes knew everybody. Nobody really wanted me around because I was white, but I showed up with Chris and Peter, and it was different from then. Like, everybody, they knew who I was quick, and we just had like the best music coming out. We had the nicest team. We left lockdown because we're just too wild for them. Like, it was crazy how that went. Like, that's a story inside of a story that just there was drama, people fighting, cops. I mean, it got out of hand there for a minute. They were mad that we left because we were the talent. Like, I mean, it's not being cocky or nothing. It's just like, as a group together, is what really made it work. And once, people started falling, and then we seemed to just click up. Me, Dorian, Chris, Peter, Angel, we went our own way, and that's when Player Made came.
So you were like one big family.
Yeah, that is that's my brother from another right there.
And speaking of family, with being, writing, rapping, we know, obviously, you talked about your brother Peter, and we know your sister is famous Silent Rios over here. Pooh, with you, how does your family feel about you, what you're doing?
I mean, like my son and my daughter, they love it. My dad supported me, my mom supported me. I mean, it's just, they see that's something that I can do. You know, a lot of my people, tell me that's what I need to do, and they kind of push me. It's just, trying to be a family man is really kind of slowing it down, but I realize I'm wasting time. Like, we never know what tomorrow brings, really don't.
Right. Okay. Now, as growing up, you said you are both teenagers when y'all got into the music biz, and you talked about your family being very supportive. Growing up and even now, what are some of your influences musically? Like, as far as rappers, even just writers, anybody?
Well, the reason me and my brother kind of got started because of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Mm-hmm. So we had that kind of style for a while, but then we developed our own. Mm-hmm. So that's one of my big influences right there. Of course, Tupac, you can't get rid of that. I mean, you can't hate on that boy.
Not Tupac. I think like if I was to die tomorrow, knowing what I've done in music, my accomplishment, the only time I've ever been starstruck is I sat down with Pimp C one time, and that was like the highlight of my career right there. Like if it ended tomorrow, like I would be satisfied because that was an accomplishment for me. I mean, I couldn't even talk to tell you the truth. Like
I don't blame you. Pimp C, who would it done?
That was, and we had a real conversation for about an hour and a half. And it was nice. I mean, it was nice.
Me and my brother used to do shows over there at the Southside Rec. We used to do shows over there. And then moved to the River Stage. Did shows over there. And one time we were supposed to open up for Charlie Boy, but that nigga didn't show up.
So when that happened, what did y'all do?
We just still did our shit.
Kept doing it?
Yeah, yeah.
So when y'all were up there performing at the River Stage, the Rec, how did that make y'all feel?
I learned nothing more than being on stage.
Can you imagine? Now, with Pooh, you said you have a son and a daughter, correct?
Yeah.
And a family. With what you're doing, being in the music industry, rapping, in the future, do you still see yourself continuing to do it as your kids grow up, as your family gets bigger, y'all been together longer?
Oh yeah. Like I quit, but I'm bouncing back onto it. Like I'm not gonna stop. I have all like visions and dreams and success, and the only way I'm gonna provide for my kids is because they're both with their moms. I'm not with either one of them right now, and that's an opportunity. I get to see them both, and I'm gonna make things happen and to where I can make it play out in my favor for once.
Right, then you'll look back on this video and remember you said that. And Chris, what about you? As you get older, you plan on still pursuing?
Yeah, music is everything to me. Like, I'm a musician.
Yeah. And obviously it's in your blood.
Yep.
Right.
Just getting started.
Just look at my sister. I remember she used to listen to us when we were recording in the back row. Like, that's where she got it from. And when she got started, me and my brother needed a hook for a song that we were gonna make. And she just came in and killed it. So she's been making music ever since. Like we wrote the first hook for her. After that, she wouldn't let us write hooks. She was like, "No, I'm doing my own."
That's right. Well, see, I really hope that with both of y'all, with kids, sister, brother, that it continues to skyrocket for y'all. Because obviously, y'all are probably two of the people that I know that just talking to y'all right now that I can tell you're very, very passionate about what you do. That going into the next question, what do you think? The listeners that hear your songs that you write, that see you perform, what do you hope that they get out of your music?
They just jam.
like, I like to make music that people can relate to.
Yeah.
Really, music is like a soundtrack to your life.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think about times in your life, like certain times or certain days or certain like running 6 months periods, you was listening to something at that time. Like, whether it's like when we were on Webster, we always bought 50 Cent a lot, and Bone Crusher, you know, like, there's a lot of people like back in the day, I heard from a lot of hippies, you know, the soundtrack to their life was Eagles. You know, they rode around in their vans for months, and that's all they listened to. So, you know, I try to make something that you can relate to or you can vibe to. I mean, it's got to be real and 100. Like, don't know what talking about cars no more. I mean, that's old Texas, you know, and I mean, people just, it's about the struggle.
It has to have a meaning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
music is a purpose. I mean,
Yeah, I understand that. I feel like that with certain artists that are out there now, like there are songs I could play all day and just be like, oh, you know, it makes you feel a certain way. It makes you feel like they know what you're talking about. So that's definitely, I can see that's what y'all are trying to do. Now, as far as being in the music business, what's the most difficult thing that y'all have had to endure up to now?
A lot.
Well, we know your name's Crime, so. Now, how many hours a day or a week or even, you know, monthly, however, do you feel that you spend making your music? Like,
I'm a freestyler, really.
So it just
I
comes-
freestyle, just stays here.
so pretty much every minute, anything you see can help you get that music going.
yeah,
What
I
about
do
you,
that a
Pooh?
lot. I write a lot, but I try to perfect my free. Like, it's constantly like, even with my cousins or, yeah, you know, I just have fun, you know, when I can. And if I can make it rhyme, I'll make it rhyme. Like, I don't just go out there and rap in front of people, but like with the people that know me, like every minute of my life is music, you know, like I try to teach my nieces, my nephews, my son. You know, like I just try to rub it off. Like music is really where it is.
Okay, now, speaking of like today's music, who do y'all listen to the most now that's out there now as far as
Of course, Nas, Wale, all of the lyrical rappers that actually make sense and not swang or whatever the hell they say nowadays.
Trap music's in a little.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I still catch myself like my regular rotation is still gotta be like Pimp C.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm still
all the
bumping
dirty
Big Hawk
side,
and Tupac. I mean, I guess because I'm older, but I mean, a lot of the like I like J. Cole. J. Cole is really The Game.
Yeah.
I love The Game. I'm not
Young
gonna lie.
Buck.
Yeah.
Like Migos is alright, but like everybody tried to catch on to that, like and the Gucci Man and the whole Kodak Black and all that. I mean, I hate on nobody. I respect their hustle, but they're killing it. Like right now with everybody following that same thing.
Yeah.
Because even Master P came out trying to do trap music. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening? You know, like
Yeah, it used to be about something. Now it's just about like making bounce or something.
That's what I was gonna ask y'all. How do y'all feel about the younger generation, those that are wanting to be
There's a
either
couple.
writers or rappers? Like,
no, I support that 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I
Who you?
like Ben Summers, this little white dude, like a little internet sensation. I sure look up to that little dude because they discovered him in the kitchen, like at a school rapping, and he's like 17, and that dude is a miracle freestyle king.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and, that's positive.
Yeah, that is.
now, was there a specific moment in your life where you're sitting there and, you know, rapping, writing lyrics, and you're like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, no matter what?
Yep.
That's,
As soon as I started.
As soon as you started, so when you and your brother,
Yeah. When he came home with that one verse, went off from there.
that's about. Well, I told myself one day I needed to do something different, and that's just I put my head on the music. I mean, with the background like mine, that was like my only escape. But, sometimes I used to just sit in my room in the dark and just listen to music, and like that was my escape from. This was like at 7 and 6 years old, and that was the only way to escape the noises of what was going on in the next room, or like the reality of the real stuff that was really happening. you know, like my headphones were in my sanctuary, you know, like especially with the incidents with my mom, my stepdad, like all the stuff that I faced in life, music was my only way out.
Yeah, I can relate. That's exactly how I am. I don't know how many pairs of headphones and have old iPods and MP3s and everything like that. I'm pretty sure it's probably CD players and stuff.
Cassette deck.
The cassette deck, the little Walkmans.
Exactly.
Mhm. I had one of those. I'm not
You
gonna lie.
should see the first cell phone I had. It was like
The square one?
They still had it too.
The ones you can even play music on. It just
Yeah,
had the
yeah,
factory
you
couldn't
ringtone.
even text
Big
on
ass,
it.
like, I'm serious, it's like a brick.
I remember like they still asked what's
Beat
the
somebody
page.
upside the head with
I used to
that.
have like 5 pages and stuff.
Oh my, pagers. Oh wow, you're really showing your age,
Exactly,
guys. Oh my goodness. Well, when you're not recording, when you're not writing, what else do y'all like to do in your spare time?
Just chill with friends. Just listen.
I just like work. I'm working a lot, like trying to. Like I said, I try to be a good influence on my son, and I went through a lot of sicknesses and stuff, but I still try to like keep going head on. So
Okay.
I try to keep my body moving.
Okay, I feel that. Now, is there anything other than music? Let's just say, you know, for some reason this didn't work out, that y'all would be pursuing or think about pursuing.
Being a pain in the ass.
A profession.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
If you were offered a deal with a major record company right now, would you take it right now?
If the contract's right.
Yeah, if it's right,
It gotta be right though.
it's gotta be right. I've already turned down deals before in the past. I ain't gonna sell myself for a donut. No,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna sell
Kind of
myself.
seems like a lot of artists now
Yeah,
are doing
just,
that. So
just want to be signed and
I mean,
they end up getting ripped off because they don't read their damn contract.
yeah,
I mean, I understand, you know, I can't be picky. I ain't gonna sit here and say, you know, oh, I got a deal, I'm $1 million rich, because I mean, I've been at the lowest of my low in my life in the last couple of months, but I still know, like, what I'm worth, you know, like, and my worth ain't gonna be, you know, just let's come in and do a couple out, you know, like. But yeah, when I take a deal, I would love to have a deal. I mean, that'd be nice. I'm probably gonna get one, hopefully. I ain't gonna stop till I do.
that's really a good mindset. It really is. Have y'all performed anywhere besides here in town, San Angelo?
Just pretty much been basic right here.
Okay. All right, guys. Do you ever get told that you're too old to be doing what you're doing?
Nope, because I'm too good.
Because you're too good?
I haven't heard that one yet.
What would you say to somebody that tells you that without using violence or anything?
I just tell them to freestyle and see what you got.
Ask them what their game is.
Yeah. See how good you are.
That would shut me up, honestly. I'd be like, okay, they keep doing it. Good answer. Okay, now, what is your take on being an underground artist? How do you feel when people are like, oh, they're an old school underground artist, or they're, you know, they're never gonna make it anywhere. They're never gonna get big. They're never gonna do this, do that. What do y'all say?
Like I said, I love music. I do it for me. I don't do it for anybody else. I do it for me.
I mean, and honestly, in all reality, most of the people that make it are 30. Look at Eminem, he was 33. 50 Cent was 32. Pimp C and Bun B, I mean, they started at an early age, but not everybody's Lil Wayne coming in at 17. So, I mean, it's just like the NBA. I mean, you never know it don't matter how old you are, it's just how much you thrive. You know, you can do whatever you want.
Nobly and Parker.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. And a lot of the artists that are older, they're still going at it. Like you said, Eminem, 50, all of them. They're what, in the late 30s, early 40s? What?
Yeah. Eminem's what, like 40?
He's late 40s, yeah.
Yeah, so,
I don't know how he still looks so young.
yeah, you just hating on Eminem.
I'm just saying I'm bad.
Damn, boy.
Well, since we were talking about age and, you know, the artists that started out young, those that are still going into older age, how do y'all feel, or what are your thoughts on the evolution of music based on what it used to be when y'all first started out and how it is now?
Yeah, that's a hard one. There's some good ones, but then there's some that, like, I don't know. I don't hate on anybody. I mean, you do you. So I guess I'll leave it at that.
It's changed. I mean, the evolution of music is. Well, I mean, you just gotta look at music, period, from the beginning to now. I mean, it's always gonna change with different genres. Like now, there's country rappers, like whole like section of country rap music, and before white people were hardly accepted, Mexicans were hated on, like especially in the hip hop music industry. But now, I mean, look at some of the biggest artists out there, from Gemini to Machine Gun Kelly to Eminem being considered one of the greatest. I mean, diversity really speaks on a lot of it.
Yeah. But in the end, it's, if you love music, it's music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's an international language.
Yeah.
It's true. Do you feel like the music that was made back in like the early 90s, the late 90s, tells that the artists back then told more of a story than those now?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, pop, definitely. Like, I mean, it was about a story then.
Yeah.
That's what we lack now, really, in music. I mean,
yeah.
because everybody has a story to tell. I don't care who you are, everybody has a story to tell.
It's not all about hype music.
It's,
But
it's how
if
you tell
a
it.
story, you know what I'm saying? It strikes people when you tell a story. Like, say, Tupac, Dear Mama. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a story. Unconditional Love by Tupac, that's a story. Nowadays, I don't know what the hell.
Do you feel like a lot of the artists, I mean, I know, not meaning in a disrespectful way, but do you feel like a lot of them now that are making it big are just doing music just to get the hits and not really
even focusing?
Yeah.
Well, that's really where it's going now. It is really going that way. But it's really like what they're doing is finding what the audience wants. I mean, they get paid for a reason. I mean, even as us as other artists don't really see eye to eye or like agree with how they're doing it. Just like other music genres hate on hip hop because, oh well, they don't got to use instruments. But really, I mean, they don't know the production side of hip hop as it is, But like, so I mean, it's just like other rappers looking at them like, well, they're not really writing. They're just sitting there and they're mumbling a couple of things, or they're just throwing a couple of hooks or repetitive hooks, and there's not no talent put into it. Like when you had the Nas, the Jay-Z's,
like Nas, Jay-Z.
You had like their one-hit wonders now. The internet's really killing that. Is what it is you get something that's a hit YouTube video and that's what's paying, but it only takes one song to do that. Whereas before you had to get in the studio, make an album, and there wasn't no leaky drops or no SoundCloud or nothing. Like, I've sold tons and tons of CDs from hand to hand, saving all my money so I can get them pressed up.
Like, me and my brother used to make CDs and go to bars and hand them out, sell them.
Yeah, I know a few that still do that, and to me that I feel like kind of on the same wavelength as y'all. Like that, people like hard copies. I think it's easier for them to remember, hey, I want to listen to this, than if it's on phone, on the internet, on an app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was disappointed when I bootlegged my own song the other day. I was like, oh, it was kind of cool, but I was like, oh, I can Google myself and then put myself on MP3 juice. But then I thought about it. I was like, wow, I just bootlegged myself.
That kind of goes into my next question. What do you think about, or how do you feel when you're done recording, your songs are finished, and you hear them? What goes through your mind? Like, how do you feel?
I'm conceited.
That's okay.
It gets stuck on repeat.
Hell yeah.
That's good. There's definitely confidence in y'all, and I can see why. I've heard some of your stuff, and I have to get to you, see what we're dealing with.
I'm not gonna do that.
Now, was there ever a time where you just thought about just completely giving it up and just doing something else, just walking away?
Actually, yeah, I can say that.
When was that instance for you?
Like when I very first started out, we had like a dream team label. Like we were getting deals thrown at us left and right. But we had these two hungry dudes on there called Tip and Jones. And like at that point in time, like I had Dope House, like at the time, like Dope House really wanted to sign with me. I turned Dope House down, you know, I like so stuck with my label. I was like 100% bonded, you know, and like they didn't get the deal that they want, so DJ Slow Motion just kind of backed out on all of us. And like we had so much going, we had tours set up, like I was getting shows left and right. I had like labels calling me, Universal Records called me, but I wouldn't do nothing because of DJ Slow Motion, and then at that end he just cut it off. And I didn't want to make music no more after that. I was so disappointed because I was like right there, like I turned down so many deals just because at that time there wasn't a lot of me. Like I was being compared to Paul Wall. Like the only two white people from Texas was me and Paul Wall, and we was on the same level. Like I was going to Houston to do songs with them, and they were just, you know, they weren't really nobody at the time either. So, and that's when I really like, but then I met Lockdown, like I came into Lockdown and moved to San Angelo, and I realized this whole city was nothing but music. And so I had to do what I could do to fit in.
And that answered my next question. I was going to ask, when did you feel like you could start doing it again? Do y'all still talk to some of the guys that y'all were with Lockdown? Or that y'all met from a long time ago?
Yeah, most of them are good friends.
Are they still doing music too?
Some are, yeah. Like I seen Ray the other day. He don't really make music, but he's very talented.
Yeah. Well, my boy Dorian, he's actually he's the one that made all the beats and all that. Like pretty much the producer. He's still doing pretty good.
Yeah, they got something nice going. They got videos. Dorian, he's talented. He's got a lot of outlets. Like his brothers are big in the Tejano industry as it is. They're legends in San Antonio. Like literally legends, and his whole family. Like they got charismatic culture, and they're gonna do something. They're really blessed. Like their whole team is really blessed right now. I gotta give them credit on that.
My boy Angel too. He kind of stopped for a minute.
He's with Dorian now.
Yeah, he's with Dorian now. So they're doing good.
They took hip hop to like a commercial level. I got him as my ringtone. I ain't gonna lie.
That's,
I swear to God, dude.
hey, there's nothing wrong with supporting your friends. Nothing
No,
at all.
like Spaceships is such a jam, bro. Like that song Spaceships. Have you heard it?
No.
Have you heard Spaceships? It's a jam.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's on a whole other type. Yeah. I was proud of Angel for that one.
Yeah.
That's okay. I have some songs you and your sister did on my phone. So at work, we use a loudspeaker, and so it's all on there. People ask me, and I'm like, oh, well, if you must know, those are my friends.
Don't worry, I still got a couple of y'all CDs too.
Everybody got a CD except me. I'm serious. I don't even got a CD.
The best jam
myself.
ever. You Can Count on Me. Everybody knows that was just. He sounded just like Pac on You Can Count on Me. He did.
Well, we need to get you a copy of that so you can hear and keep it.
She has them all.
That's our biggest supporter right there. Hey, it's real. No, you don't understand. Like, that woman right there dealt with a lot with us.
She's basically like y'all's second mom.
She dealt, yeah. She dealt with a lot. Yeah, I don't. If it wasn't for her, sometimes we. Yeah.
That explains it all. Oh my God.
I remember the first CD I made with my sister. I still ain't got the copy, but it's bad.
How'd you feel when y'all made that CD?
Huh?
With you and your sister?
We're going through a lot at that time, so we kind of just put it all into it. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be in the background music.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the background music.
You put it in the background with it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when you're making music with your sister, knowing that your family's into it and what you're doing?
I love it.
It's good. I've heard y'all together. Y'all vibe well together.
Yeah, exactly. We can make a song right now.
If I can be in it, then let's go for it. I'm just
Ooh.
kidding.
Cameo.
What about you? Do you have anybody, immediate family that?
Yeah, actually I do. My little boy, he's 8 years old. He makes beats, he sings, he raps, he does whatever he can as far as music goes. He idolizes Michael Jackson. Yeah, he gets out there and dances just like him too.
See, that's one thing that I think is really awesome when you have family supporting you, whether it's music, anything that you do. If it was just you without any family backing, do you think y'all would have been where y'all are at now?
I mean, on that level, I mean, I do have family, but most of my family has been people like Chris and, you know, like a lot of my family. I was kind of the black sheep. Me and my dad were. So I come to learn that, you know, you really got to rely on the people that are your friends and take them in and treat them like family and embrace them. Because at the end of the day, sometimes that's all you got.
That's one.
Now, what do y'all feel is the most important thing to keep in mind as being in the music industry, being rappers, writers?
Knowing that you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it.
Yes, sir. I can see. Good answer.
Now, I do have one more question. What advice would y'all give? This, I want y'all to answer this separately. Would y'all give to someone that's decided that this is the path they want to take? Being a rapper, being a writer, making beats. What would you say to them, Chris? Crime.
I'd say put your heart into it. Just believe in yourself. You can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. And if you need lessons, just ask me.
And Pooh, what about you?
Really, like, you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it, but man, don't get caught up in the fast life that comes along with it, because that's where you get sidetracked. Because things get a little fun and you lose focus. You lose focus bad. And your biggest downfall is yourself. Save the fun for afterwards when you're already paid, because that's the reason why I'm still sitting stagnant, because I try to have a lot of fun before it was time to have fun. And that's just where you really mess up.
All right. Well, thank you, Crime. Thank you, Pooh, for letting us interview y'all today. We wish you luck in all your future endeavors.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.